we used to go blackcurrant picking for Mr. Denham Smith at Laxfield, and we used to meet girls there, you know, and that's how we got friends with other people from other villages. And then we used to cycle, that's where, when we used to venture out, we used to cycle to Fresnfield, Laxfield. We thought it was a long way then, because the first we'd cycle to was Dis. And that's how we got into knowing other villages, other people from other villages, through the girlfriends. We used to follow behind the tractor and trailers and that while they were cutting the corn, and we'd have our rabbit sticks which we'd made out of the woods, you know, and try and clomp the rabbits on the head as they ran out, at no charge, not one in a week. And when they'd cut all the corn in, they'd come along with their baler, just to bale all their bales up with nice neat, big heaps of bales all stacked in, you know, tied with each other in nice order. And we'd come along and make tunnels out of these bales. You know, they must have been, we're talking about 50 yards long. We'd lay two on the side and then one on the top, all the way along. And we'd crawl in them with straw and just pack all the holes so there's no daylight. We used to crawl about in there. That's so weird. That was frightening, really. It was pitch black. And we'd try and branch him off and join them all up again. And he never used to get on to us about it. He just, you know, he knew that when we was doing that, we weren't getting any mischief, was we? You know, we weren't stealing anything. Well, we never did pinch anything them days. Was nothing to pinch, was there? Yeah, good times, they were, really was. We used to play tricks with the public, you know. We used to have, make parcels up and tie a bit of string to them, and when people went to pick them up, we'd pull the string. You know, all sorts of things we used to do. Snowdrop picking, you know, and sell in the street. Apples.
Did you sell rabbits as well?
No, we never could get any rabbits, not with a rabbit stick. Yeah, we had all wet air rifles. But when we was about 10, that was.
Were you a good shot at it then?
Yeah, very good shot. Yeah.
Still are.
But you know, we just, it's not like now, you're not allowed to have anything like that now without a licence, you see. We used to go out about 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning. We used to come home till about 5. I wouldn't let you do that now, would they? And we used to play down in the woods, down the Nuttery Hole. We called it Nuttery Hole then, but that's Nuttery Vale now. And we used to make barn arrows. We even had knives. Pocket knives and that, which you're not allowed to have now, are you? We used to go down the Clink Hill, road down here. If you go down the bridge, turn right along the river, there used to be a big hollow tree. Jackdaws used to build in there. We used to climb up there and we used to take one chick out, that's all. Then we used to take it home, put it in the hut and rear it up and feed it on milk and bread. And we used to, and when it got, you know, it got so it could fly, that's so tame, we used to let it out and you'd play with it like in the yard. And we used to leave the door open all day, because when I was at primary school, I used to come out at playtime and it had to be waiting in the tree for me. And I used to just call it, used to hold your arm and I and go, we used to go, Jock, and I used to come down and sit on her arms. We could swim then, because we, you know, taught ourselves to swim down the big river at Hoxton. I never see the beach before I was 15. When I did see the beach, I thought it was the end of the world. There used to be carnivals.
What were the carnivals?
There used to be a Hoxton carnival every year. I don't know why they stopped it.
What did they do?
You know, I used to make flutes, what they call flutes. You know, you get tractor and trailers and you make sort of things like, you know, the bailers or the cowboys or the, but I don't know, you know, they had a carnival queen. You know, the prettiest girl in the village. We used to borrow Mr. Haves's cart. We used to push that cart down this lane here, Clink Hill. You believe it or not. Just let it go. You just steer with the handle up like that.
Young people living in the country without transport heavily rely on mobile phones and internet to keep in touch and socialise with their friends. In the age we live in, developments in mobile technology are rapidly on the increase, and young people relish getting their hands on the latest model of mobile phone, even if that means replacing the one they only purchased a week before. Rash impulse buys aside, it all seems rather pointless when living in a rural area provides you with little more than 1 to no bars of signal. Every teenager has fallen victim to needing to send that all-important text or make the reassurance phone call to their parents to say they are indeed safe, but soon realise they have no signal.
I have a message! I have signal! Yay!
Roger Turkington from Suffolk Acre, which stands for Action with Communities in Rural England, is involved with the Speed Up Suffolk campaign, working to increase broadband connection in Suffolk.
Already there's plenty of people in Suffolk that don't get current generation broadband, either not at all or very poor performance. But we're looking to go to the next stage, which is what they call next generation or superfast broadband, where instead of working at, say, 2 megabits, we could be working at anywhere between 20 and 100 megabits per second. The benefits of next generation across a number of sectors of the community, if we talk about, say, young people first of all, and education in particular, we know already with children doing GCSEs that if they haven't got good access to the internet, that can mean them losing as much as 10 percentage points on their grades. And I think that similar studies have been done with young people doing A-levels. And we know this is going to get more and more of an issue because more and more educational material is being delivered electronically. Most schools now have what they call a virtual learning environment or virtual learning platform. And it's not just the young people that need to access this, which they could do just at school, but their parents need to help with their education at times, and if they haven't got access at home, then clearly that's a big issue. And if we look at the rural communities in particular, we're all familiar with the fact we're losing shops and pubs and post offices and so on. So our only means of communication is via the internet, and if you haven't got really good access, then local businesses will migrate into the urban areas, into towns and cities. So rural communities will suffer. BT has announced a rollout of what it calls its Infinity programme and service. But I have to say, as far as Suffolk's concerned, not even Ipswich, which is obviously our biggest town, is on that list of initial rollout. So it's going to be some time before rural areas, if at all, ever get superfast broadband, which is why we've got the Speed Up Suffolk campaign, and we're looking at alternative ways of providing the service if BT or the other big players aren't going to do it. What we're encouraging everybody to do is to go to this EDA website, which is called Erebus, erebus.org.uk, and register their interest in next generation broadband. There's just a few simple questions.